So there's lots of successes that I'd like to highlight about the Global Compact, but I'll pick two. The first I'm going to talk about is around climate and the important work that we've done collectively to mobilize the private sector to address the climate crisis. You know, if you listen to the UN Secretary General, what he's called for is more transparency, more credibility, and a strong action orientation towards addressing climate. So the Global Compact was one of the four co-founders of the Science-Based Targets Initiative. And this is an initiative that has developed a scientific and evidence-based pathway around how companies can transition their operations, provide a more scientific framework to their decarbonization plans, and therefore provide certainty that they are really contributing to decarbonization and emission reduction. So along with other partners, we formed this initiative. Really proud to say we have about 2,000 companies worldwide that have signed on to the Science-Based Targets Initiative. Proud of that. There is some work to be done because it's not simply about signing up, it's about walking the talk and getting your targets verified and validated. A lot fewer are in that path of verification and validation, but there is a pipeline towards it. So we encourage more companies, yes, to sign up to the Science-Based Targets Initiative, but we certainly need a lot more verification and validation of those targets. What does it do? It puts us on track for setting short-term targets for 2030, but certainly the long-term targets that we need for 2050. Another thing that I'm really proud of is I'll talk about some of the initiatives we're doing around our Africa strategy. I firmly believe that the SDGs, will be made or broken depending on the actions that are taken for the African continent. That's where we see most of the challenges around the developmental SDGs, but also where we see most of the opportunity for business, for the next largest consumer market, for digital transformation, for climate and energy action. Most recently, we have launched an Africa Business Leaders Coalition, where we bring together about 60 leading African businessmen from across the continent, businessmen and women, to address most pressing issues for the African continent. Very proud to say that last year at the climate conference, we had 60 leaders sign the very first African private sector statement addressing critical issues for climate change. And in September last year, we hosted the Global Africa Business Initiative that was a platform during the high-level week that brought together heads of state, private sector, philanthropy, social impact, entrepreneurs, to really look at charting a new narrative for the African continent with the private sector at the center.